Hi, this is Mark Williams introducing a brand new feature to LinkedIn to you today called LinkedIn Signal. This actually isn't a full-blown feature as yet, it's just an experimental stage, but you can play with it if you just type in www.linkedinlabs.com/signal. You will be able to do what I'm about to show you. So without further ado, let me explain in a bit more detail. As you can see here, we're talking about status updates. Status updates, I think, are very important because potentially there's some really valuable information. For whatever reason you're using LinkedIn for, that may be recruiting, that may be business development, it may be looking for a job yourself. And I'll show you an example, if you like, if I was a job seeker, how I might use this particular feature to my advantage. So you see here there's an awful lot of updates, but that's because, and they are literally coming through, but I can literally click on that, and 122, literally since I started talking, there's been 122 more updates, and that will then refresh and bring those people through. As you can see, they're coming through second by second. Obviously, it depends on how large your network is as to how many are going to be coming through there. But that's because I've got this selected to look at updates from me, first tier connections, and indeed second tier connections. Okay, so don't particularly want to see my own, so I'll take those out of it, but still we're talking about a fairly big number here. I'm not necessarily always going to want to see absolutely every single status update that's happening, but what I can do is refine that by saying, well, let's search on certain words or phrases. So in this particular occasion, I'm going to have a look at anybody that status update mentions the word Oracle. Okay, so let's search on that and let's see what that brings us. 3,192 people at first tier or second tier. Now that I've put in a keyword, I can actually now look at third and everyone else as well. All right, so that brings the number up to 9,435. Still quite a lot to go through, but I can refine it even further. Now, I can see companies here that are mentioning Oracle. No surprise to see Oracle, but there are other organizations there mention them in a big way. But I can put in this box down here, I can actually type in any other company name that I want. In this case, randomly, I'm just going to pick Google. So let's see if anybody from Google is mentioning Oracle in their status updates, which 25 of them are, and we can have a look at those status updates on the right hand side here. Now, interestingly, and I've tested this, the word Oracle doesn't have to be mentioned in the status update. It could actually be mentioned in the link. Now, in these particular cases here, you'll see that it is mentioned in the update itself, but there are a few that I've seen come through where I'm thinking, why did that come up? When I go through to the link, I can see the word mentioned within the link. So very, very useful. I'm going to untick that one. Again, let's look at that total, 9,435. And a bit further down here, I can look at industry. Now, let's imagine that I was an interim manager looking for a new post. I'm an Oracle specialist. So I'm looking for anybody that's updating about Oracle, and I'd particularly like to see anybody in human resources who is mentioning Oracle. Okay, because my thinking is maybe they're actually advertising they've got a vacancy. I could, of course, also add staffing and recruiting to that number if I wanted to do so. Okay. Now, if I wanted, again, I could look here and say, well, let's just see the more recent ones, either last 2 weeks, last week, last day, or last hour, or even the last minute, although there aren't any on this occasion in the last minute. And I can look here and look within locations. So there's the top 5 locations represented in this search result, but let's imagine the situation is I'm really looking for a post in the United Kingdom. I'll work anywhere in the United Kingdom, so I'm just going to select that, although as you can see further down here there are different locations in the United Kingdom that I could specify if I wish to do so. So let's click on that, and there are actually 4 updates. Okay, and here they are. Okay, so 2 of them, in fact, they're only from 2 different people, but there are 4 updates there, and these are jobs that might be of interest to me at the moment. Okay, so great from that point of view. That's just human resources, but if I wanted to widen it, I could say, well, let's now add staffing and recruiting. Okay, so these are like filters on top of filters. And that's obviously now made it bigger, and I can see a wider range of opportunities. Now, don't just think this is about looking for a job. I'm just using that as an example, of course. It could be far more than just for that purpose. It could be for business development, could be for searching for candidates if you're a recruiter, etc., etc. Okay, so just taking all these filters out for a second. All right, I'm just going to go back up to the top here, and I've left human resources in, just take that one out. Really just because I wanted to show you just the other thing about this. On the right hand side here, we can see these are the main topics or main links being given on LinkedIn through status updates. So sometimes that can be quite interesting, how many times they are sharing a particular headline, which will be a link to some website of some sort. All right, so that's LinkedIn Signal. Brilliant. I think it's fantastic, and I really hope it becomes a main feature, but it can be used now anyway by going to LinkedIn Labs. Hope that's been useful to you today. These are my contact details that you can see in front of you now. Please feel free to get in contact, and look forward to sharing some more new features with you soon. Thank you very much.